right, so buckle up because
Okay.
this deep dive is going to be a wild one.
I'm excited.
This time,
Yeah.
we are taking Sherlock Holmes.
Okay.
But not the Sherlock Holmes you're used to.
Okay.
We are talking post-apocalyptic London.
Oh, wow.
Think crumbling buildings, streets reclaimed by nature.
Uh-huh.
Resources are scarce. Danger is around every corner.
Interesting. So what makes this deep dive even more interesting
Okay.
is that these Sherlock Holmes stories,
Yeah.
they're not written by, like a human author.
Right.
We are talking about stories written by artificial intelligence.
I mean, it's really kind of blowing my mind that
Yeah.
we have AI out there writing this stuff.
It's pretty amazing.
And they're good.
Oh, yeah. These stories are pulled
Yeah.
straight from Reddit's Our ShortAIStory community.
Yeah, and they are so vivid. Like, I can picture this post-apocalyptic London.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah, and they make some really interesting choices. Like, a lot of the stories mention this place called Sector 221B Baker.
Right.
Which I just thought was genius.
It is kind of genius, right?
Yeah.
Because you've got this world that's completely gone to pot, but this iconic address.
It still has meaning.
Yeah, it still has meaning.
It's like this little...
It's like a little beacon of the past,
exactly.
of what once was.
Yeah.
And speaking of echoes of the past,
Okay.
let's talk about our main man, Sherlock.
Right.
But it's not just Sherlock.
All right.
It's Sherlock Theta,
Oh.
because he is a clone
Whoa.
of the original Sherlock Holmes.
Wow.
So you've got this incredible mind
Okay.
thrown into this world
That's completely unfamiliar.
that makes no sense.
Right. All right.
You know, he's all about logic
Yeah.
and deduction,
Uh-huh.
and this world is just chaos.
Makes you wonder how
Yeah.
he even functions.
Right. Like, how does he even process any of this?
It's a really interesting concept that a lot of the stories play with.
Yeah.
Like this idea of his logical mind
Yeah.
trying to make sense of this world that's completely irrational.
It's kind of like he's living in a nightmare in a way.
Right, exactly.
Because everything he thought he knew is gone.
Yeah, it's all been turned upside down.
So then what about Watson?
Ah, good question.
Is he along for the ride?
Yeah, is he there or is Sherlock on his own?
Yeah.
Well, Watson is around, but
good?
not exactly how you think.
Oh, okay.
We're introduced to Watson
Watson with periods?
with periods, Sherlock's robotic companion.
Oh, big
So that already kind of...
So he's an AI.
Yes, exactly.
Interesting.
And what's even more interesting is that the AI authors,
Okay.
they've basically imbued Watson
Okay.
with the personality and the loyalty of the original Dr. Watson.
I mean, that's kind of creepy, right?
It's a little bit creepy.
But also kind of cool.
It is kind of cool.
You know, you got this
Yeah.
this world where you've got a human clone and a sentient AI.
And it makes you wonder, like,
Yeah.
who's more human in this scenario?
Exactly.
The clone or the AI?
Yeah, I mean, who's more human?
Right. It's like,
It's weird.
It's like they're making us question our own humanity.
It really is. It's like they're holding a mirror up
Exactly.
and saying, what are you?
And I think that's something that they return to again and again.
Yeah.
This blurring of lines between human and machine.
Definitely.
And what I thought was a really interesting choice
Okay.
is that Watson often serves as the narrator.
Oh, wow.
So we're getting this perspective
So we're seeing things through the eyes of a machine.
of a machine that's learned to understand
Wow.
human emotion.
See, that's what I find so fascinating about these AI stories.
Yeah.
Is that they're not just like these,
Right.
surface level things.
Right.
They're actually,
They're grappling with some big questions.
they're grappling with some
Yeah.
really complex issues that even we as humans
Yeah.
have a hard time wrapping our heads around.
Sometimes I wonder if they're doing a better job than we are
It's true. It's true.
because they're looking at it with this
This objectivity.
objectivity that we lack.
But okay, enough about the setup.
Okay, yeah.
Let's talk about the cases.
Let's dive into the mystery.
What kind of mysteries is Sherlock Theta tackling?
Well, you're going to find a really interesting mix
Okay.
of, those classic Sherlockian mysteries, like missing persons,
Okay.
thefts,
Right.
but with this kind of post-apocalyptic spin on them.
Right. Because the stakes are higher.
Exactly. The stakes are much higher.
Yeah.
It's not just about a stolen jewel anymore.
Exactly. It could be the thing that saves
Those are easy
or
to-
destroys
Right.
a whole group of people.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So what were some of the cases? Give me some examples.
Okay. Well, there's one where a young boy goes missing
Okay.
from this, fortified settlement.
Oh, so they managed to build a wall and everything?
Yeah.
And he still manages to go missing.
Still disappears.
Okay, that's creepy.
Yeah, and the community is obviously terrified because they don't know.
Because if it can happen to one,
Exactly.
it can happen to anyone.
It could happen to anyone.
So that's one case. What else?
Another one
Okay.
involves a series of murders
Oh, no. Then
that target scientists
who are working
on rebuilding society.
So someone doesn't want society rebuilt.
It seems that way.
Oh, that's dark, man.
It's very dark.
Very dark.
Very Sherlockian, though, right?
It is very Sherlock.
You can imagine him investigating something similar.
Yeah, but in like Victorian London, not
Exactly.
post-apocalyptic London.
Yeah, but the AI authors,
Yeah.
they managed to capture
Yeah.
that essence of those classic stories,
But put their own spin on it.
but put this really interesting
It's fascinating.
post-apocalyptic twist on it.
Okay, so we've got a missing kid. We've got dead scientists.
Okay, this one's good.
Okay.
A missing seed bank.
A missing what?
A seed bank.
A seed bank.
Yeah, like a place where they store
Okay.
all the seeds to regrow crops.
Oh, okay.
So in this world ravaged by,
famine.
famine,
Oh,
exactly.
gosh, yeah, that would be
The seed bank is crucial.
hugely important.
Absolutely. And it goes missing.
Oh.
Someone has stolen it?
So you've got the mystery of who stole it
Mm-hmm.
and why.
And why?
Oh, that's so good.
It's a classic theft,
Yeah.
but with these incredibly high stakes.
It's like Ocean's 11, but for seeds.
Exactly. It's like, who's going to control the future of food?
Exactly.
That's not just about, a bag of money anymore.
That's not survival.
Exactly.
Oh, that's so good.
And then there's another one
Okay.
with a warlord
Oh, a warlord.
who's terrorizing these different factions using this advanced technology.
So he's got like
What? Who knows? It could be anything.
lasers, robots.
Yeah, maybe some leftover tech from before the apocalypse.
Oh,
Or
right.
maybe he's figured out how to create new technology.
Oh, that's even creepier.
Right.
So it's like he's got this power
Exactly.
that nobody else has.
He's got his finger on the button.
And Sherlock's got to figure out how to stop him.
Sherlock Theta has to outsmart him.
Okay. And I'm sensing a theme here.
What's that?
These aren't just cases, right?
What do you mean?
They're like microcosms
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
of the challenges
Yeah.
that this world is facing.
It's like each case
Yeah.
is a little window into
this
I like
larger,
the bigger picture.
this bigger picture of what's going on.
Exactly.
So it's not just about solving the case.
right.
It's about understanding
You understand
this world.
yeah,
and the people in it.
and what it means to be human
Wow.
in this new reality.
And what it means to be human
Yeah.
in this
Yeah.
new reality.
Oh, exactly.
Okay, keep going. What else you got?
So there's this one story that really stood out to me.
Okay.
It's called The Mystery of the Underground City.
Ooh, the underground city.
Yeah. Have you heard of this?
I mean, I've heard whispers, but go on. Tell me more.
So apparently, beneath the ruins of London,
Right?
there's this hidden city.
Whoa.
It's this whole secret civilization that's been living underground.
So they survived the apocalypse.
Apparently so, yeah.
And they're just down there.
They've built their own society,
Wow.
their own rules, their own way of life.
So how does Sherlock Theta even find out about it?
That's the mystery. Right. There's a reason why it's a secret.
Oh, okay.
Something draws him down there.
So they're not just like chilling underground.
It's not some peaceful utopia.
There's something more to it.
Something's not right.
Something's rotten in the underground city.
And Sherlock Theta's on the case.
I'm hooked.
Right.
I got to know what happened.
It's a classic setup.
Yeah.
You've got this hidden world.
It's like Journey to the Center of the Earth, but with Sherlock Holmes.
Exactly.
I love it.
But with higher stakes.
Okay, so you've got me completely sucked in.
I told you this deep dive was going to be good.
It's It's like everything I love
Yeah.
about Sherlock Holmes,
Uh-huh.
but with this crazy post-apocalyptic twist.
And the fact that it's all written by AI,
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, that just adds this whole other layer to it.
it's mind-blowing.
Okay, so what else is going on in these stories?
Well, I think we need to talk about the big themes,
Okay, the big themes like what?
like humanity's relationship with technology.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's always a big one, especially in post-apocalyptic stories.
Right, because technology is often what caused the apocalypse in the first place.
Yeah, or at least played a part in it.
Right, exactly.
So how do these stories approach that theme?
Well, they don't shy away from it, that's for sure.
Okay, good. I like that.
They show both the good and the bad.
Oh, okay. So it's not just all doom and gloom.
No, there's hope, too.
Okay, I like that.
It's a more nuanced look at technology.
Okay, give me an example. How are they showing the good side of technology?
Well, there's one story, the case of the reforged city,
Okay.
where they're using AI
Okay.
to actually rebuild.
Oh, wow. Okay.
They're using it to repair a vital communication network.
So they're using technology to reconnect people.
Exactly.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it shows that even in this devastated world,
Yeah.
technology can be a force for good.
It can bring people together
Exactly.
instead of tearing them apart.
Right, which is often the case.
Right, yeah.
In these kinds of stories.
So it's a more optimistic view.
It's refreshing, actually.
Yeah, I like that.
It's not all just,
Fire and brimstone.
Yeah, fire and brimstone and robots taking over.
Okay, so I've got the good side of technology.
But then there's the flip side.
Of course, there's always a flip side.
Right, because it wouldn't be a very interesting exploration of the theme if there wasn't.
Right, exactly.
So the AI authors also show how technology can be used for, well, not so good things.
Like what?
Well, there's one story where this group has figured out how to control people's minds.
What?
Yeah, using some kind of sonic device.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's pretty creepy.
That's like straight out of a Black Mirror episode.
Right.
So they're using technology to enslave people.
Essentially, yeah.
Oh, that's messed up.
It is. It's a very dark use of technology.
Okay, so they're really not holding back.
No, they're not.
They're showing us the full spectrum.
That's what I appreciate about these stories.
Yeah.
They're not afraid to ask the tough questions.
And they're not afraid to show us the ugly side of things.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've got the good, we've got the bad.
Right, and it really makes you think.
It does. It makes you think about our own relationship with technology.
Exactly, because we're so reliant on it.
We are.
And it's only getting more advanced.
And more powerful.
Exactly. So it's a timely theme to explore.
It really is.
Especially in the context of these post-apocalyptic stories.
Yeah, because it makes you wonder.
Hmm.
If we did have some kind of major catastrophe,
Yeah.
would technology be our savior?
Or our downfall?
Or both?
Or both, exactly.
It's a question worth asking.
Absolutely.
And it's a question that these AI stories are definitely making us confront.
Yeah, and I think that's what makes them so compelling.
Yeah.
They're not just entertainment.
Right.
They're making us think.
They're challenging us.
Exactly.
And I think that's what good storytelling should do.
Absolutely.
It should make us question things.
It should make us uncomfortable.
It should make us look at the world.
And ourselves.
And ourselves in a different way.
Exactly.
And I think these AI stories are doing that really effectively.
I agree.
So, okay, we've talked about the setting, we've talked about the characters, we've talked about the themes.
Right.
What else is there? What else do we need to know about these stories?
Well, I think we need to talk about how the AI authors are using language.
Oh, okay, yeah. Because these are stories, after all.
Right, and the way they're written is just as important as the plot and the characters.
Okay, so how would you describe their writing style?
It's interesting. It's very visual.
Okay.
They use a lot of sensory details.
So they really paint a picture with their words.
Exactly.
Which makes sense because they're talking about a visual medium, right?
Right. Even though it's written, it feels very cinematic.
Okay, give me an example. What kind of sensory details are they using?
Well, there's this one scene, I think it's from The Adventure of the Famine Orphan,
Okay.
where they're describing this abandoned marketplace.
Okay.
And they talk about the smell of rotting food.
Ugh.
Yeah, and the sound of rats scurrying through the rubble.
Okay, I can practically smell it.
Right.
Yeah, it's that vivid.
And they talk about the feel of dust coating everything.
Okay, so they're really appealing to all the senses.
Exactly.
And it makes those scenes come to life.
It's like you're right there with Sherlock Theta.
Yeah, walking through this post-apocalyptic world.
Exactly.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's impressive.
So they're good storytellers.
They are. They're very good.
Which is kind of scary, right?
It is a little bit scary.
Because they're AI.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what else they're capable of.
Right. If they can write stories this good, what else can they do?
That's a question we might not want to answer.
Yeah, maybe we should just focus on enjoying the stories for now.
That's probably a good idea.
Okay, so we've talked about the setting, the characters, the themes, the writing style.
Right.
What else do we need to know about these stories?
Well, I think it's important to note that these stories aren't just about the mystery.
Okay.
They're also about Sherlock Theta himself.
Okay, how so?
Well, he's a clone, right?
Yeah.
So he's struggling with questions of identity.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that makes sense.
Like, who is he really?
Yeah, is he Sherlock Holmes?
Right. Is he just a copy?
Or is he something else entirely?
Exactly.
Wow, that's deep.
Yeah, and the AI authors really delve into that.
Okay, so how does that play out in the stories?
Well, there's this one story, The Adventure of the Immortal Scientist.
Okay.
And Sherlock Theta is really wrestling with these questions.
Okay.
Because he's confronted with this scientist who's essentially cheating death.
Oh, wow.
And it makes Sherlock Theta question his own mortality.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Because he's a clone, he's essentially immortal.
Right, unless something catastrophic happens.
Exactly, but he could theoretically live for a very long time.
Wow, so he's like facing his own existential crisis.
Essentially, yeah.
That's heavy stuff.
It is, but it's handled really well.
Okay, good.
The AI authors don't shy away from the big questions.
I like that about them.
Yeah, they're not afraid to get philosophical.
So it's not just about solving mysteries, it's also about self-discovery.
Exactly.
That's really interesting.
It is, and it adds another layer to these stories.
Yeah, it makes them even more engaging.
Definitely.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here. We've talked about the setting, the characters, the themes, the writing style, the philosophical questions.
Right.
Is there anything else we're missing?
I think we've touched on most of the key elements.
Okay, good.
But it's important to remember
Yeah.
that these are just a few examples.
Right, there are tons of these stories out there.
Yeah, and they're all different.
So it's really up to the reader
To dive in
and explore.
and find the stories that resonate with them.
I like that.
Yeah, it's like a choose-your-own-adventure.
But for AI-generated Sherlock Holmes stories.
Exactly.
Okay, so where can people find these stories?
Well, as I mentioned earlier,
Yeah.
most of them are on Reddit,
Okay.
on the ShortAIStory subreddit.
Okay, and I'm guessing there are other places online where people can find them.
Yeah, I'm sure if you do a quick search, you'll find plenty of other websites and forums
Okay, cool.
dedicated to AI-generated stories.
So if you're looking for something different,
Yeah.
something thought-provoking,
Yeah.
something that will make you question everything you thought you knew.
Then these stories are definitely worth checking out.
Absolutely.
They're a fascinating glimpse into the future of storytelling.
And maybe even the future of humanity itself.
Who knows?
Okay, so that's it for this deep dive
Until next time.
into the world of AI-generated Sherlock Holmes stories.
Elementary, my dear listener.
I love it when you do that.
I couldn't resist.
It's perfect.
It felt right.
It did.
All right, until next time.
See you later.